Okay, we're back in the crowded house over here. A lot of things going on, a lot of things in my way, but we got the firewall done today. So I did my template as I showed you last week. I traced it out, and I hand cut the whole template because there was a lot of curves in it and things like that. The electric shears really weren't a choice. My nibbler, I think, is in the machine shop, which that place is crowded at the moment. I have to organize it. So I just hand cut it. I got my hand shears and just cut it, and it turned out fine. You know, I mocked it up a couple of different times, and then finally, once I was happy with the exposure, I went ahead and I put this crossbar in, something I talked about last week. So this way, when I close the hood, there'll be a gasket between this surface, and I'll get the camera off and show you a little closer, between this surface and this surface, so it'll separate the engine compartment from the cockpit. So with the transmission tunnel, as I created this firewall, I cut out the tunnel and I started putting a slight curve on it. Here it is here. You know, I don't know if you can see it, but I put a curve on it. And I started fitting it, and technically, yes, it would fit. I would have to create technically a cone in order to make it fit. So I popped it on there. I started getting close. I pushed it on there, and it was looking good, but it just wasn't looking the way I really wanted it to look. So took a little break, went on the internet, and I found the fiberglass transmission tunnel that you use in a 23 Model T, a T-bucket. And the measurements were right, which technically this is a T-bucket frame that I built, so it works. The measurements work, everything works, so I ordered it. And I think I'm going to go to fiberglass, so this one's removable too. With the metal one, I would probably have welded it in, so this way, you know, we don't get any of that rattle or whatever. With fiberglass, we won't get the rattle because it's fiberglass. I mean, I'll probably seal it too, so it'll kind of glue to the floor, but we'll see. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll create a gasket, which is probably a smarter thing to do. So this way, if I ever got to work on anything, I can pop the seat out. I can take my mat that I'm going to put in here out, and I can take that tranny tunnel out. And it gives me a lot of area to work. So the firewall was a big deal today. I went ahead and I tack welded everything. Everything's just tack welded. And everything is leveled and plumbed. And where the firewall meets the size of the coffin, we're going to need to go ahead and caulk those. We're going to have to use body sealer on there. Because no matter what you do, you're never going to get a perfect fit. You know, unless you sit here with the 3D scanner, which I do have. If I 3D scanned it and all that, and then I take the file and I send it over to my CNC plasma cutter, which is not set up yet. I've had it for years, I've never set it up. Then it would probably be most likely a perfect fit. But this is all hand done, it fits, a little bit of sealer, and we'll be good. The other thing I did was I put together the transmission jack that came, and I put together my roller so I was able to do some bends and things like that. For little patch panels that I made for the side of the tranny. So, you know, things went pretty good. What else did I do? Just trying to think here. But the main thing really was putting together that transmission jack and getting ready to, I had to order some pipe for the plate. For this plate here, this is the mounting plate for the bender. And I'm still waiting for one of my 1 3/4 die. So this way I can go ahead and create my 2 cages, one for the engine side and one for the car side. So this way we have some safety here. And I'm not going to order a tube yet because then it's going to just be one more thing laying around till the die comes, and I really don't want to do that. So I guess we're pretty much almost at the point of taking it all apart, welding up the frame 100%, getting everything prepped on the frame, painting the frame, and doing all the welding on the firewall, because right now it's just tacked. Everything's all tacked. And basically we're at that point of tear down, finalize welding, get the frame ready, paint it, and move forward from there. Drop the real motor in, drop the real tranny in, get that all situated, get the front end back on, and start figuring out our radiator and how we're going to run all that. I think we're going to be running that all underneath, and we're going to go ahead and use tubing, or I may use copper pipe just to kind of give it that spooky feel. So, all right, let's get the camera off. Let's do a little bit of gandering and go from there. Look, I'm tripping over stuff. A little crowded in here. And like I say every week, I'm not a cameraman. So there's the transmission jack, which I think is going to work out well with the bender. And the trick is I need to get a 1 1/4 inch, a 1 1/8 inch inner diameter pipe, which I already ordered, and weld it to there. And then that will sit basically there. And I'll drill and tap the pipe possibly in 2 spots, so I'll make it nice and tight. And at that point, then I could raise my bender wherever I want it. And here's the bender there. And that's going to need to be painted. And I have the powder coating equipment, but I don't have the time. But maybe I'll make the time to powder coat everything. It might be a better choice. But for I think it was $140, let's say $150 delivered to my door, I think it was a good buy for something that's going to be universal for me, because there's the tranny plate. There's a plate I'm going to create for the bender, and I'll be able to use this for a couple of things. Matter of fact, I use it as a bench today to do some of the sheet metal work. So let's take a look over here. As you can see, just some quick spot welds. And everything eventually, once the coffin is off, I'll keep spot welding it all along so we're not going to warp anything. And I'll just keep doing that, keep it cool, spot here, spot there, till we are all spotted in. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll grind everything down nice and clean. And, basically the inside of the coffin will be ready for paint, texture, whatever the hell I'm going to do with it. We don't know yet, but eventually we'll see. Here's the angle iron, and that's going to meet up with that right there. We'll put a gasket on here, a thick gasket, so this way we're going to make sure we don't get any heat or fumes from the engine compartment into the cockpit. So basically, there's the tranny. The tunnel is going to go on there, obviously. There's our firewall, and you can see on the left and right side, we got some light coming through. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to caulk that, and we'll be fine. I was also thinking of, let's just grab a piece of metal here. This is aluminum, but you'll understand what I'm doing. So basically, I was thinking, should we finish it up something like this? It give a little more strength, a little more rigidity, but I don't think we need it. So we're going to scrap that idea. And as you can see, I should have got a light here. In here, what I did was I made this piece, I bent a 90 on there, and I just stitched it to the wall for now. And again, everything is just spotted. And everything will end up being a continuous spot weld. Grind it, treat it, texture it, paint it, or whatever we're going to do here. And we still need that 1 3/4 die, so we can go ahead and do our roll cage, and that's really holding me up, because I want to do it while we still have it together on the frame. And this way, I got to make sure that I can basically take this frame off without any type of interference. In case I do need to take the take the body off. In case I need to take the body off, because it's going to be next to impossible to work on anything. Look how close that exhaust manifold is. I mean, it looks closer in the picture than it is. So it's about a ½ inch to the front. Well, then again, we got to center up the body a little better and all that. But you probably got about a ½ inch to play with, maybe a little more on each side. Well, I moved this, so actually maybe a little less. Who knows? But we're going to have to do some creative insulating on that, and that's going to be fun. So hopefully it doesn't pop the paint, because then if it does, then we're going to have to figure out plan B, which I haven't figured out yet. And I'm hoping not to have a plan B, so that's why I'm not figuring it out. So, for the most part, that's what we did. That's what I did. And I was happy to get that firewall done. I was thinking about it all week, and we were quite busy at the shop. So I was happy to get in here early today and start knocking this thing out. And also, you know, when I'm done welding in here, I'd like to sit in here for an hour or two just to make sure, you know, fire watch, because you never know, something might be smoldering, you don't see it, and next thing you know, you're up in smoke, and we definitely don't want that. Definitely don't want that. After all this work, we definitely don't want to have any accidents. So, guys, whenever you weld, whenever you cut with the torch or whatever, no matter what, make sure you have a few hours of sitting there doing something else after you're done with doing that part, and make sure you don't have any flame ups, because a lot of times something will smolder in the corner, you're just not noticing it, you leave, and next thing you know, you come back to a serious problem. Sometimes you come back to basically nothing but ashes. So you definitely want to just stay around when you're done, you know, torching, or when you're done plasma cutting, anything to do with any type of flame, even grinding. You know, I've had instances where I'm grinding at the shop, because sometimes, you know, projects there, sometimes you're grinding and grinding for hours. And you walk away, you walk back, next thing you know, you see a box that, you know, must have been smoldering, that's now starting to light on fire. So, very important. Do your cutting and do your welding and do all that as early in the day as possible, and have a time limit of when you stop using the torch and when you stop using you know, your welder. Usually I'll stop welding and cutting somewhere at the shop somewhere around 12 o'clock. So this way, you know, we're basically still coming, going, doing things, whatever. And, you know, by the time I shut the door at, say, 4 o'clock, I know I'm safe. At least I hope I am. So I've seen too many guys just kind of rush, do all this at the end of the day. They're tired, they go wash their hands, they walk out, lock their door, not realizing that there's a little box in the corner smoldering. And then the next day, you gave yourself a long vacation in some cases. So, you know, we're getting there. So it's almost time for teardown. So in a way, I'm happy we're at that part, because now we could really start fixing and putting everything together the way it should. And I got to get the wheels out. I was going to do it today, but I got tied up with other stuff, and so I didn't. I even cleaned off and somewhat organized my bench. Big deal. I got that little area there to work with. And Chevelle's still sitting here. And I got to get to that headliner. You know, if you've been watching for a while, you know that I'm just dreading doing that headliner. You know, I know how to do it, I just don't want to do it, and I can't find an upholstery shop that, you know, even exists anymore to do it. But you know, it is what it is. There's my buddy Henry. He's just, you know, sitting around. I got to pick a bone with that guy and see if he's going to help me here, or if he's just going to sit there with that dumb smile on his face and you know, just act stupid. But what are you going to do? Maybe he's drunk. I don't even know. I don't see any bottles though. Okay, let's get this. You can see that we're pretty crowded in here. Winter can't leave fast enough so I could get organized. Again, you can see that that wall really shrunk from boxes and everything since I started. But we do need a little more storage, and trying to come up with that. So I got a few ideas. I was thinking about another shed in the driveway part of the shop area on the side here outside, but we'll see. Alright, let's go ahead and get this camera back on the stand and finish up. Okay, so, well, you know what, we also picked up, well, actually I got it on eBay. I got a kit. It's an original OEM kit. Some parts are missing. Parts are missing, but here's a kit for the 777S boring bar. So most of it is here. Most of the important stuff is here. One tool holder isn't, but I already got a hold of where to get one right from Beam Equipment. It came with an original hold down. And the only other thing I'm waiting on is an anchor. I got the anchor set up again from Beam. Beam seems to have all the, my head's cut off in the video because I can't step back far enough. But Beam seems to have all the bits and pieces and everything for this, for these bars. So right now I'm concentrating on the 777S bar. And then I'll start getting all the little goodies for the 944S. Eventually, we'll do a video on cleaning these bars up, laying a coat of paint on them, and basically doing a very minor restoration. Like I said, they both were running. Everything moves on them. You know, it doesn't look pretty right now because they've been sitting for a long time. And as I told you last week, the 777S was the original bar used to bore the original motor for my Chevelle that's sitting right here in front of me, and that was back in the 70s. I believe the bar to be probably from the 60s, maybe, yeah, I would probably say probably from the 60s, because I believe the 777 was introduced, the 777S, I believe was introduced somewhere in the mid to late 60s. So, you know, there's a lot of mileage on that bar. But again, they last forever. There's some out there from like the 1930s and 40s. And you see them on YouTube videos all the time. And they work great. So basically, I've got my mess of boxes there. I don't know if you can see it. I just, we had a little bit of snow and crappy weather, so I didn't want to put them outside and have them all wet and soggy. And then I got to cut them off and put them in the garbage. So, and I haven't been in here all week. I was in here for a few hours yesterday, just to more or less, you know, look at the firewall, get it in my head that, you know, psych myself up to come and do it. And, you know, I was happy. I got out here really early this morning, probably around, I would say probably around 6:30, 7 o'clock this morning, and just got right on this firewall. And it took a little while. I had a hand cut everything. My hand is so hurting right now because I have arthritis really bad in my hands. And, well, you know, it was definitely worth it. I got that done. It's solid. It's part of the coffin at this point. And, you know, we're getting, you know, we're in good shape. We're doing good. I just got to get everything welded up and ground up, cleaned up, and, you know, we'll coat it. And, but I don't want to do any coating or any of that. And I really don't want to take this off until I get the dye for my vendor, because I would like to create my cage in here, so this way, you know, I know where I am. So I'm going to try to hide the cage like under the lip of the coffin here, so this way I'm not losing any side room, you know, because I'm not a small guy, so, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, guys, so please like, subscribe, ask questions, you know, like, hate, whatever. But you know, thank you for watching, and again, sorry my head is cut off because the camera's close and we're running out of room in here. But we'll see you next week, and hopefully we'll have a lot more to show you, and hopefully the training tunnel will be in by then, and I'll install it hopefully prior to the video. But anyway, guys, again, like, subscribe, please comment, ask questions, you know, whatever. Have a good week. Have a good rest of the weekend, whatever's left of it, a few hours, and we'll see you next week.